Lights, camera, action! The stage is set for another thrilling chapter in the Star Trek saga. With rumors swirling and excitement building, fans are eagerly anticipating the next installment in this iconic franchise. But amidst the buzz, one burning question remains. Will Whoopi Goldberg be making a triumphant return to the final frontier? Imagine the anticipation as Zoë Saldaña's recent appearance on The View sparked speculation about Goldberg's potential involvement in the next Star Trek movie. Could we see the beloved Guinan gracing the screen once again, alongside the likes of Chris Pine and Saldaña? And if so, which of the two upcoming Star Trek films could provide the perfect stage for her comeback? Well, this is what we know about Star Trek IV. A brand new screenwriter is on board, crafting what's being touted as the epic conclusion to the adventures of the Starship Enterprise crew, led by none other than Chris Pine as Captain James T. Kirk. The last time we saw these guys on the big screen was way back in 2016 with Star Trek Beyond, and let me tell you, it's been a long wait. 8 years to be exact. That's the longest dry spell we've had in Trek history since Gene Roddenberry's TV series leaped to the silver screen in 1979. But fear not, Trekkies, because there's hope on the horizon. According to a juicy Variety cover story, Star Trek IV is getting some serious traction. The studio's gunning for what they're dubbing the final chapter for the Pine-Quinto Saldaña trio, and they brought in Steve Yockey, the mastermind behind The Flight Attendant, to whip up a fresh script. Could this finally be the moment we've all been waiting for? Could we be on the cusp of a Kelvin timeline reunion? Now, hold on to your communicators, because the journey to this point hasn't been without its bumps. We're talking about a development roller coaster that would make even the most seasoned Starfleet officer queasy. Heavyweights like Quentin Tarantino and Noah Hawley have taken a crack at it, only to warp out due to creative differences. And let's not forget the false starts, the abandoned projects, the dashed hopes. It's been a wild ride, my friends. But wait, there's more. Variety's dropping hints about an origin story for the entire Star Trek universe, penned by Seth Grahame-Smith and helmed by Toby Haynes. This could potentially steal the spotlight from Star Trek IV if it hits theaters first. But you know what? At the end of the day, what we're all really itching for is the return of Chris Pine's Captain Kirk and his trusty Starship Enterprise. So buckle up, Trekkies, it's going to be one heck of a ride. So with all that chatter about a new Star Trek origin movie buzzing around, there's one question on every Trekkie's mind. Could we be seeing the return of Scott Bakula's Captain Archer? Picture it, a pre-Kelvin timeline, an origin story ripe with possibilities, and Archer standing at the helm of the Enterprise once again. Here's the scoop. This new movie promises to delve into Starfleet's beginnings, set in the years before J.J. Abrams' Kelvin timeline movies. And you know who played a pivotal role in those early days? None other than our good old Captain Jonathan Archer from Star Trek Enterprise. With the timeline primed for exploration, there's a real chance for Bakula to step back into those iconic boots. Think about it. Enterprise gave us a glimpse into the early years of Starfleet, but it was cut short before Archer could get the proper send-off he deserved. Now, with this new movie on the horizon, there's an opportunity to right that wrong and fill in the gaps between Enterprise Season 4 and its controversial finale. But hold on to your tricorders, folks, because there's always a twist in the tale. While the possibility of Bakula's return is tantalizing, the production might also opt for a fresh approach, spinning a brand new yarn with a whole new crew of characters. After all, they'll be aiming for a wider audience in theaters. Either way, the prospect of revisiting Starfleet's origins is enough to make any Trekkie's heart skip a beat. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, we'll get to see Archer charting the stars once again, boldly going where no one has gone before. Only time will tell. The possibility of Scott Bakula's Jonathan Archer making a comeback in the new Star Trek origin movie has got fans buzzing with excitement. With Star Trek Enterprise's premature cancellation leaving some loose ends in the Federation's founding story, this movie presents a golden opportunity to fill in those gaps. Archer and the crew of the Enterprise NX-01 play a pivotal role in shaping Starfleet's early days. But here's the kicker. While there's plenty of potential for Bakula's return, the production might opt for a different route altogether. They could sidestep the established canon to craft a fresh narrative with a whole new cast of characters. After all, they're aiming for a wide theatrical audience, so diving too deep into Trek lore might leave some moviegoers scratching their heads. However, all hope is not lost for Archer enthusiasts. There's another intriguing possibility on the table. What if Archer ascended to the presidency of the Federation? That's right. Production artwork from Enterprise's Mirror Universe episodes hinted at this very scenario. So even if Bakula's appearance in the movie doesn't pan out, there's still a chance we could see him in a different capacity, perhaps in a Paramount Plus exclusive like Michelle Yeoh's Star Trek Section 31. The legacy of Star Trek Enterprise doesn't just stop with the show itself. It's left its mark on the Kelvin timeline movies as well. J.J. Abrams' Trek flicks were no strangers to dropping nods to Captain Archer and his crew, giving fans a little taste of that prequel goodness. In 2009's Star Trek, Simon Pegg's Scotty found himself in hot water with none other than Admiral Archer himself. You see, while tinkering with some trans-warp beaming experiments, Scotty accidentally beamed up Admiral Archer's prize Beagle. Oops. This little mishap landed Scotty in some serious trouble, earning him a one-way ticket to a remote Federation outpost on Delta Vega, and thus a fateful encounter with Kirk and Spock was set into motion. But wait, there's more. Fast forward to Star Trek Beyond, where the villainous Krall, played by the incomparable Idris Elba, had a backstory that sent chills down fans' spines. It turns out Krall was once Balthazar M. Edison, a Starfleet bigwig who commanded the USS Franklin before it vanished into the void. For the uninitiated, it was just a compelling origin tale for the bad guy, but for die-hard fans, it was a thrilling callback to Archer's exploits, the Xindi War, and all things Enterprise. Now, with talks of a new Star Trek origin movie swirling around, could we see a similar blend of old and new? Perhaps it's the perfect opportunity for Scott Bakula's Jonathan Archer to make a triumphant return to the big screen, bridging the gap between timelines and delighting fans old and new alike. Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, the spirit of Enterprise lives on in the Kelvin timeline, and we're here for it. In the ever-expanding universe of Star Trek, the question on everyone's mind is whether Whoopi Goldberg will make her triumphant return to the silver screen. The speculation ignited during Zoë Saldaña's recent appearance on The View, where talk of the long-awaited Star Trek IV turned heads. So, will Goldberg boldly go where she's gone before? Only time will tell. Until then, fans will keep their phasers set to speculation, eagerly awaiting the moment Goldberg graces the final frontier once again. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.